What's up, guys? Stealth Black NYC here, back with his first sports video. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Many of you may know already, I love sports, live and die for sports, and during quarantine, it's killing me not being able to play sports. So, next best thing, report on them. Favorite team is the New York Jets. Trust me, it's been very hard watching this team. It's not, it's just back-to-back years of just disappointment. But there's some highs and lows, but mainly lows. But as a Jets fan, I got to make honest predictions, especially if we're going to be continuing with this whole sports reporting thing. So here are my 2020 Jets predictions. Honest and free from bias, I swear. Some key additions to this team: wide receiver Josh Doctson to replace Robbie Anderson, Joe Flacco, who served as a mentor for Sam Darnold, Pierre Desir, who I think was a key addition, especially since they lost Darryl Roberts and Jamal Adams' future is in question. We'll get into that later. Frank Gore, he's definitely Frank Gore definitely still has some gas left in his tank, and he can also help coach Le'Veon Bell. Mekhi Becton, he's just an all around great player. He's a beast. He's super strong. So we'll see where stuff goes with him. And Patrick Onuwasor, sorry if I butchered his name, linebacker from the Baltimore Ravens. That'll definitely help with some chemistry between him and C.J. Mosley, who were teammates for a bit. And Connor McGovern, part of that brand new Jets offensive line, which is going to help them a lot this season. Losses, I said some of these earlier. Robbie Anderson, he's off to Carolina. Darryl Roberts, he was traded away. Brandon Copeland and Brandon Shell, both out. And Quincy Enunwa, again, out with an injury. I feel like 2021 has to be Enunwa's year. We've seen so much potential out of him. He's such a great player. He's big, he's fast, he's strong, but he can't stay healthy. This is literally like the third year in a row he's missed of an injury. And it's a neck injury, which is pretty serious, so I'm definitely going to give him that. It's not like he broke his toe and he can't play. Or like he was wrestling wild boars like Giannis Cespedes. But, this is definitely something that has to be looked upon. Because if he's not healthy, the Jets got to get rid of him. I'm sorry, there's no other way to say it. He's got to stay healthy if he wants to stay on this team. The Jamal Adams situation. Oh my goodness. His two-time Pro Bowler and two-time All-Pro requested a trade back in June. At the trade deadline of last season, the Jets told him that they weren't not going to trade him. Next thing he knows, he's almost a Dallas Cowboy. And a couple weeks ago, actually might have been like a month ago or so, he said he was quote-unquote trying to get to the Dallas Cowboys. Jamal grew up a lifetime Dallas Cowboys fan. Probably how I would be if I was drafted into the NFL and I was playing for, I don't know, say the Bengals. But I wanted, the Bengals were losing and I wanted to get traded. I'd be like, yo, bring me to the Jets. Diehard Jets fan growing up. But, that's Jamal's situation. And this actually happened yesterday. Yesterday, for me recording this video, he tells the Daily News that Adam Gase and Joe Douglas lack leadership. And honestly, after what I've seen, I've honestly seen that coming out. Because Adam Gase, he's a coach, but he doesn't represent a coach, say someone like Pete Carroll or Mike Tomlin, who have that, as soon as you see them, they're a vocal leader. They're just great coaches. I'm not seeing that out of Adam Gase. Honestly, Adam Gase seems nervous. This isn't his first time head coaching a team, but this is his first time head coaching a young quarterback like Sam Darnold. He started off as an offensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos. Not just any Denver Broncos, but the Peyton Manning Denver Broncos. Peyton Manning was pretty much doing his job for him. So I don't know if you can really count that as a leadership job. And then the Miami Dolphins, they weren't the best. Ryan Tannehill's not a bad quarterback. Ryan Tannehill's pretty good, but he doesn't. Most of his career is behind. Not most of his career, but like half his career is behind him. But Sam Darnold, he still has, I don't know, a lot more of his career left. And if what Jamal Adams is saying is true, that Joe Douglas and Adam Gase, they would literally whisper in another coach's ear, like, hey, our team isn't doing so good. I think you should give them a speech. And then walk out of the locker room at halftime. If what he's saying is true, Adam Gase either needs to A, stop that, step up, or B, step down and leave this organization. Because the Jets fans and the Jets have been tired of losing for the past, I don't even know, man, past 2 decades, really. And not even 2 decades, probably like the past decade. But still, we're tired of losing. We need some leadership. And right now, Jamal Adams is their best leader. We cannot afford to lose Adams. So, I don't know, man. I feel like he will. I feel like he will stay this season, but next season, I'm not so sure. He might be a Dallas Cowboy next season. So my thoughts on what's going on. So A, Woody Johnson needs to sell the team. He's been just what he's done is absolutely disgusting. I don't feel like getting into that, especially since it's a sports channel. It's just that what he did was more political. But Woody Johnson needs to either A, sell the team or clean up his mistakes. Next, Adam Gase needs to either A, step up or B, step down. There's no room for this whisper in another coach's ear and then just straight dipping out of the locker room, leaving the players like, yo, what's going on? It's just a lack of communication and lack of leadership in that locker room, and that's not how you run a team. And Joe Douglas needs to be on that too. I didn't mention this in the last slide, but Joe Douglas is also part of this leadership issue that the Jets are having. So that needs to be fixed. Next, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, Le'Veon Bell. They have a brand new offensive line. They need to use it to their advantage. If they got a brand new offensive line with a bunch of people from the Broncos. They got Mekhi Becton, Connor McGovern, Noah Fant, all these people, man. They got to use this to their advantage. Darnold has been how do I put this? He's not a scrambling quarterback, but he's been scrambling way too much. He can scramble. He can make some great plays on the run. Like he knows what he's doing when he's on the run. But he's been doing it too much. There's too much of this pocket collapsing, and he has to run all around the entire field. And he's not Lamar Jackson. He needs an offensive line. And Le'Veon Bell, he needs an offensive line. Le'Veon Bell is all about patience. He loves waiting in the backfield for that hole to open up. But when he's waiting in the backfield and no hole opens up, he's stuck in the backfield, loss of 5-6 yards. And those 789 yards that he got last year isn't going to cut it. He needs at least 950 this year. That's all I'm saying. I need at least 950 yards for Le'Veon Bell this year to convince me that him and Darnold are going to be a almost like dynamic duo in the backfield. So that's my thoughts on what's going on right now, and that's my thoughts on what needs to happen with this Jets team if they want to get, I don't know, at least 8 wins. They did have a good second half of the season last year. They went 6-2 in the second half of last season, which honestly just shows what can happen if Jamal Adams is leading, Sam Darnold is healthy, Le'Veon Bell is healthy, and Robbie Anderson is doing what he's doing. But Robbie Anderson isn't on this team anymore. He's now with the Carolina Panthers. They just drafted Denzel Mims, and they picked up Josh Doctson. So those are 2 really great wide receivers that the Jets can use to their advantage. And also they still have Jamison Crowder and Marius Thomas. So that's going to be great to see. Great wide receiving core. And also Sam Darnold loves his tight ends. He's got Ryan Griffin, all those guys. He got his tight ends back, so that's good. So what's going to happen? I feel like Jamal Adams will not be a Jet for the 2021 season. 2020, I feel like he will stay, but 2021, I'm not so sure. I feel like this Jets team has a lot of potential. They have a lot of great players, and I'm not saying this from a fan standpoint. I'm saying this from almost like an analysis standpoint. The Jets team has a lot of potential, and I feel like the one thing that's blocking them from being, I don't even know, a playoff caliber team is the lack of leadership that's going on in that locker room and in that locker room. The huddle. Sam Darnold is a great leader in the huddle. If you watch some of his college highlights and some of his NFL highlights, he is an awesome leader in the huddle when he's not seeing ghosts and doesn't have mononucleosis. But still, he's a great leader. So I feel like this will be an interesting season. There's no preseason, and there's going to be no fans. That's been announced. So this is going to be a very interesting season for the Jets and for the entire NFL and NBA and MLB and NHL. Any sport you want to watch, the WNBA, everything is going to be just a very interesting, very odd, very different season. But it's going to be a hell of a ride. Funny record prediction. Despite the past troubles, I say the Jets finish above the 500 mark. I know this might seem crazy, but I feel like the Jets have the potential to go 10-6. I know this AFC East division is tough, and especially with the addition to Cam Newton to the Patriots and Tua Tagovailoa. But this Jets defense, if Greg Williams is an awesome defensive coordinator. What the Jets defense did last year was insane. They had like the number one rush defense for the first like 10 weeks of the season. And then for the rest of the season, they had like the number 2. They had the number 7 overall defense at the end of the season. So if this Jets defense can hold tight and this Jets offense can do its job, I feel like this Jets team can finish anywhere between 9-7 and 10-6. So either 9-7 or 10-6 is my final prediction for the Jets. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. We post sports content and gaming content, Star Wars Battlefront, Fortnite, NBA, MLB, all that good stuff. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Catch up with you guys later. Peace.